Hi, my name is Deborah Henney. I'm a wife, author, mother, speaker. Today I'm going to release a prophetic word entitled Ahab. And I started to get this word, or got this word, on the 10th of October of 2023. And I felt the Lord say, I will remove Ahabs from my house, and even some from out of my house. There are Ahabs, some installed by natural order and others by designs or their own makings, that have collaborated with Jezebel with the intention of increasing their own power and for personal gains. But they have miscalculated that Jezebel has her own agenda and has manipulated them, causing great bondage. These Ahabs have caused great harm. They have led my people astray, leading them away from me and away from my truth. They have opened the door to deception and silenced my truth. They have been complicit in attempts to block heritage blessings from springing forth, blessings that I have intended for fruitful harvests in lives and ministries. But they cannot block what I have said will come forth, and the blessing of 1,000 generations will be poured out. These Ahabs work by twisting my word, by manipulative ploys, and by silencing and dampening works of faith and truth. They operate in fear, pride, selfishness, have hearts steeped in rebellion, and collaborate with religion. They fear my true servants, ones that refuse to capitulate to their schemes, ones that come with my holy fire. Fear and pride have made them targets for Jezebel and her plots. Repent. If you have turned aside from my way for another way, turn back toward me, and I will cause a great turnabout in your life. It is not too late. Turn back toward me, and I will do a healing work in your heart. Do not be afraid of a falling away for Jezebel's rewards, for my reward is true, and my reward is great. There is rest for the restlessness of your soul, a rest that will bring about a great promise and deliverance to you and your line. Yes, there may be a shifting about in position, but as my order is established, you will find what you have been seeking in your endless, fruitless searches. So this word, God said it was people in his house, but also out of his house. So it could be marketplace, could be politics. Not sure exactly. I mean, God is the holder of all wisdom and understanding, and he knows the full meaning of his words. But the sense here is that some of these Ahabs, it was more about a selfish ambition and fear and pride that drove them to be hooked and trapped by Jezebel, by a spirit of Jezebel. That because of this fear and pride, that they're in a position that God actually hasn't created for them. They were not designed for the position that they're in, and it's causing a lot of it's maybe what they think they wanted, but it's blocking heritage blessings from their life through their line, and from and that spillover blessing to other people. And the sense that I'm kind of getting with this is that there's like strife in that place, and like a barrenness, like a desert, like what they thought would be life-giving is not life-giving, because they saw a position and they said, oh, that's what I want, but that isn't what actually God designed for them. And it was out of that fear and pride that Jezebel hooked them in, and they're in a place of bondage inside. And God is just saying, repent, recognize it, see it, because God does have an amazing place for you. He put you on this earth. He created you with a plan and a purpose in his heart, in his mind. And when you turn away from your ways into God's way, and you break agreement with the Jezebel spirit in particular, and also religion, because he talks about it, that Jezebel collaborates with religion, witchcraft, rebellion, those kinds of things, a Leviathan, that twisting. When you break agreement with that and you come into alignment and agreement with the identity that God has called you into, starting with your position as a son or daughter of God, and you come into alignment with that there is a breakthrough blessing in your life, through your life, that there's an abundant life, harvest, and fruitfulness that He has for you that's going to spill out into other people and down through your line. And I believe that is both natural and spiritual. Spiritual sons and daughters, and your natural sons and daughters, if you have them, that there is fruitful, abundant harvest waiting for you, that this will be life-giving, not life-draining. And that's another key clue for you, is that if you're doing this, not that there isn't sometimes a character forging process, but if God's blessing and grace isn't for you to stand in that place, I would suggest that you dig in to the presence of the Lord and the heart of the Lord for you in your life, in your ministry, your work, whatever it is that you're doing, and see, where does God have you? Where does He want you? Because there might be a shifting in position. And He talked about that. There may be a shifting about in position, so you may not be where you are now, and that's okay, because He does have an amazing place just for you. Just going back to the first paragraph here, where it says these Ahabs have collaborated with Jezebel. I do believe that some know that, and some are unaware. But that they have miscalculated, because Jezebel doesn't look for your gain and for your life, for what gives life to you. A Jezebel spirit has its own agenda and will always bring bondage and death. And it's very manipulative. Again, it really collaborates with like religion, Leviathan, witchcraft, those kinds of spirits and agendas. Going down to the third paragraph, God says, just some keys and clues that we can look into our own lives and say, what, am I operating from this place? Was this the motive? Fear, pride, selfishness, rebellion, religion, which, we all, at least I know for me, I seek to serve the Lord. I seek to honor the Lord. But the goal isn't to align with the system. It's to align with the Lord and what God is saying and what God is doing. So a little bit of a paradigm shift there. Am I looking to operate within the right way in a particular system, or am I looking to operate in the Spirit and with what God is saying, doing, and biblical principles? So sometimes it may look the same on the surface, but the motive and the drive is different. One brings bondage and is life draining, and one produces a bountiful harvest of life and fruitfulness. So I just encourage you to take this word to the Lord in prayer, especially if it's really resonating with you, to take it before the Lord in prayer and just, see how God might shift things in your life, both internally and also externally. And blessings till next time.